Dude, Ilya Taporia. Holy shit. This guy's different. Soy un hombre muy honrado, que me gusta lo mejor. Bro. Like, I was expecting him to get the KO here. I really wasn't expecting him to make it look that easy. That was crazy. I'm going to go ahead and recap the whole entire card here. I could just spend this whole video talking about Taporia and Pantoja, but I'll go ahead and start from the bottom, work my way up. I'll make this quick because I know we all want to talk about the champions here. So John Notagenies, Alvin Hines. Janice won a decision, looked tough. Alvin Hines was tough as hell. I poke in the third round, let this guy, Janice, recover to get his gas back to get the decision win. Whatever. Jacoby Smith, Nico Price. You know, Jacoby Smith, he was looking kind of gassed in that first round, and then he was able to get this submission here in round two. A bit of a disappointing performance, I would say, for Jacoby Smith, just based on him being a minus 2,500 favorite, which is just absurd. But, you know, he was able to get the stoppage anyways. I had to step away real quick because I heard some cats brutally murdering each other outside, and I just had to go make sure it wasn't my cats. Totally lost my train of thought. Pretty sure I was talking about Jacoby Smith, Nico Price. He was a huge favorite, was able to get the submission in the second round. And yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. But yeah, Terrence McKinney, Vyacheslav Borshev, dude, McKinney made that shit look easy. Got him out of there in under a minute, 55 seconds. McKinney, like, dude, him in the first round, he's literally a monster. Like, it's if you can survive the first round with Terrence McKinney, you know, you have a better chance of getting him out of there. But good luck surviving the first round, dude. Jesus Christ. I said he's only lost to some of the best guys. You know, Drew Dober, who's tough as shit. Nazim Sadikov, who's looking really good recently. And yeah, man, Terrence McKinney was able to make short work of Borshev, just taking him down, attacking the submission early, getting him out of there. Teresa Cortez versus Viviane Araujo. Unfortunately, I picked Viviane like an idiot. Looking back, I just feel like, how the fuck did I think she could win that fight? She looked terrible. She got taken down early by Tracy. Didn't really open up on the feet for the rest of the fight. Just got taken down, dominated. It is what it is. Tracy Cortez and her big bodacious cheeks got the W. Jose Delgado versus Hyder Emil. You know, some people reacted like it was an early stoppage. I don't know. I feel like the stoppage was pretty fair. I picked Hyder Emil just because I thought that he'd be able to put the pace and pressure on Jose Delgado, but damn, dude, Jose Delgado caught him with a nasty knee up the middle, put him down and out. And then Mark Goddard jumped in, stopped the fight. Hyder Emil was pretty pissed off, but, you know, it was a pretty fair stoppage. And what was not a late stop, or what was not an early stoppage and was a late stoppage, was Gregory Rodriguez versus Jack Hermanson. Holy fucking shit, dude. Gregory Rodriguez catches Jack Hermanson with just a brutal left hook. Jack Hermanson's asleep on the canvas. Gregory Rodriguez walks over to him. Herb Dean running in slow motion, coming to get fucking RoboCop, and RoboCop's like, okay, well, I guess he's not going to stop the fight. Bonk. Completely super unnecessary hammer fist on poor Jack Hermanson. They had Jack Hermanson in the back, like, checking him out with doctors, you know, had the whole medical team around him. We were getting updates on Jack Hermanson throughout the fight card. So yeah, man, poor Jack, dude. Herb should have got there quicker to get that fight stopped. And, you know, a lot of people like to repeat what Masvidal said when he threw the completely unnecessary ground and pound to a completely clearly unconscious Ben Askren. Oh, it's a fighter's job to keep swinging until the ref pulls him off, bro. It's like, no, the fuck it isn't, dude. I don't care what the fuck you say. Josh Emmett knocked Bryce Mitchell out completely unconscious. He didn't follow up. He didn't have to. Khalil Roundtree, when he beat up Anthony Smith, got the TKO. He was standing over him with the huge hammer fist cocked back ready. He could have thrown it. He didn't. You know, some of these fighters just need to learn a little bit of restraint. Like, if you see the guy on the ground asleep, like, come on now. Like, fucking don't give me the follow-up shots. Like, you know. Like, okay, yeah, and then you can say, oh, what about Jalen Turner versus Renato Moicano? Jalen Turner walked away and let him up. Moicano was not stiff unconscious on the ground. Okay, there's a big difference between a walk away TKO, walk off like, you know, a walk off TKO and a walk off KO. You can see when someone is stiff and unconscious on the ground. Like, it's not like, you know, I feel like it's not that hard to detect as a fighter when you're in there. Yeah, I mean, you know, you could be adrenaline, going crazy, just, you know, it's hard to control yourself in those moments, but I've seen fighters do it before, so RoboCop should have held that last punch back, in my opinion. But that was a nasty KO. Really, really just showed he still got it. You know, that Cannonier fight wasn't representative of who he is as a fighter and his abilities. So nasty KO from RoboCop. Peyton Talbot, Felipe Lima. Man, oh man, I was wrong on this fight, dude. Peyton Talbot, holy shit. He improved his wrestling and grappling so much in such a short amount of time. He got ragdolled by Raoni Barcelos, who just must be strong as hell, just have old man strength, because he recently just did the same thing to Cody Garbrandt, just out wrestled him, out grappled him. And then Peyton Talbot came in here. He didn't only stuff Felipe Lima's takedowns, but he was out grappling Felipe Lima for significant portions of the fight. Felipe Lima really didn't have much control in this fight. I think there was a little moment at the end of round 1 where he was able to establish top control, but that was about it. Like, Peyton Talbot was just keeping it on the feet when he wanted and dominating the grappling when he wanted, apart from a small moment in round 1. But yeah, man, Peyton Talbot made Lima look bad. And I was completely wrong. I was expecting Lima to go out there and just dust Talbot, but nope. Talbot was like, oh, bro, I actually am going to go ahead and train my wrestling and grappling now, and I'm fucking actually really good. So, dude, Peyton Talbot, he's special, dude. He's a special athlete. He's a prodigy of a fighter. Is it prodigy or prodigy? No, it's prodigy. Okay, yeah. All right. And then we had the Unk fight, Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. Man, and yeah, Peyton Talbot won a decision. Whatever. Let me say that. But yeah. Beneil Dariush, Renato Moicano, this was a competitive fight. Both guys scrapping back and forth. Beneil hurting Moicano in round 1. Moicano hurting Beneil at the end of round 1. You know, crazy grappling scrambles. But overall, Beneil Dariush was able to, you know, keep control of the fight a little bit better on the ground and on the feet. It was a really 50-50 fight. Both guys tired at the end. You know, Moicano gassed out, couldn't really do much in the last couple of minutes. Beneil, he just has more power than Moicano, and that was just the difference maker. You know, Beneil's shots had a little bit more thud on them. He was just winning the key scrambling exchanges, and yeah, man, I mean, Beneil, close fight, but he definitely won it. I think that, you know, some Moicano biased fans might call it a robbery, but I don't think so. I love Moicano, but I'm pretty sure Beneil won that fight. So Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval. Wow. What a fight, dude. Joshua Van, only 23 years old, and now he's the #1 contender at flyweight. That's crazy, dude. This kid has nothing but time. Joshua Van's the future, dude. I don't think he beats Pantoja in their upcoming fight because they've established that Joshua Van is next. But, dude, no. I feel like that's just too much too soon. I was very close to picking Brandon Royval. I thought that Brandon Royval would be too much too soon, but I was like, nah, like, if it's a striking fight, Van can thrive in the chaos and just land his cleaner counters against Brandon Royval. But that was a scrap, dude. They were going back and forth. Brandon Royval was landing a nice jab in Van's face in rounds 2 and 3. He was, you know, he didn't have Van hurt, but he was landing nice hard shots on Van that Van was definitely feeling. Busted Van up a little bit, but Van was just landing the more consequential punches. He was hurting Royval. He dropped Royval nasty at the end of round 3. Really sealed the deal with that. But that was a super competitive fight, man. It was really, really good. Like I said, Van is only 23. My God, dude, this kid has nothing but time to keep on improving. And even if he loses to Pantoja, in 5 years, Van's going to be 28 years old. Pantoja's going to be 40. So Van's going to be a champion for sure within the next 5 years. Like, he has nothing but time. Like I keep saying, man, it's just so crazy that this kid's only 23 and he's that good already. Holy fuck. Well, what is Van going to look like when he's in his prime? Jeez, dude. I can't wait to see it. I don't think he makes it past Pantoja this early in his career. Pantoja just has been looking insane. I mean, we're going to talk about him in a second, but yeah, Joshua Van, it just feels like Mayweather versus Canelo. You know what I mean? Like when Mayweather kind of cherry-picked Canelo when he was only 24 years old, fought him early, and he's like, oh, look, I beat fucking Canelo, huh? It's like, you didn't beat prime Canelo, motherfucker. So I feel like that's going to be kind of something similar with Pantoja and Van. But yeah, let's move on to Pantoja, dude. Holy crap, dude. He completely dominated Kai Kara France. Kai Kara France had little to no success in this fight. Pantoja very early in the first round just pressured Kai heavy, pushed him back to the cage, established control for the whole entire first round, basically from like minute 4:45 all the way to the end of round one. Pantoja was just on his back, attacking submissions, body triangle, arm triangle, just establishing control and going for subs. Round two, a little bit more striking. Pantoja kept it on the feet a bit more. I'm not too sure if he had wrestling success in round two. I think he did. He definitely must have. He was attacking Kai with some good kicks. He was blitzing a lot, and he was having a lot of success with those blitzes. Kai was just not able to stop his forward momentum as he was coming in. Pantoja would throw like 1, 2, 3 punches, just charging forward at Kai, like John Anik said on the commentary, almost sprinting at Kai, and then he would just finish off his combinations with a hard kick, either a low kick or a lead leg kick or a lead body kick. But yeah, Pantoja was just pushing Kai around all night, and then eventually in round three, he was able to get him down, establish control, get his back, body triangle, and then he just started attacking the choke. Kai was fighting the hands for his life, trying to get out of the choke, trying to get out. He must have pulled Pantoja's top hand down at least like 5 or 7 fucking times, but Pantoja would just keep putting it back, keep putting it back, keep putting it back, and he never let go of the lock under the neck. He just had this lock established, and then Kai would just keep fighting the hands, but Pantoja would just keep establishing that lock again and again and again and again until Kai just couldn't get out of the choke, and it was just wraps. Kai had to tap out, or else he was going to get put to sleep. But yeah, man, Kai had very little striking success in this fight. Let me see if I can go ahead and just check the stats for you real quick, super fast. Let's see, Pantoja versus KKF. Yeah, let's see. All right, well, let's see. This total strikes, Pantoja 70. Let me see. Let me just go ahead and show you guys for what we've got. All right. Here we are. So, yeah. Pantoja 70 for 107, 65% striking accuracy. That's crazy. Kai 57 for 86. 38 significant strikes for Kai. I really don't feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like Kai had much success. Those 38 strikes, I don't feel like those were like hard punches to Pantoja's face. Thinking back, I just watched the fight like an hour ago. I don't really remember Kai having much success with the striking whatsoever. So either I'm tripping or the stats are tripping. So yeah, man, Pantoja looked crazy. He, as usual, dominated Kai with the grappling. Pantoja is always going to be dominating these dudes with the grappling for the most part. Like, and then just with the Joshua Van fight, bro, fuck. As much as I love Joshua Van and his striking, I just don't see how he's going to be able to stop Pantoja's grappling. I feel like it's just too effective, too good, man. His grappling is next level. It's really ridiculous. And he's in his prime. He's 35 years old. He's probably going to be 36 by the time him and Van fight, but he's not looking like he's slowing down at all. Like, so it sucks that Van has to have this fight so early, because I just feel like he's not ready. If Van wins, that'll be like a huge upset. That'll be insane. I'm rooting for Van, but I see Pantoja getting it done. Like, I'm not gonna have false hope on that. I'm not gonna get my hopes up and be sad like with Volkanovski and Holloway against Taporia, because that shit sucked. And speaking of Taporia, my fucking God, dude, this guy is different. He completely knocked Charles out in round one. Charles had a bit of success with the submissions, or not the submissions, but like the grappling and the submission attempts. He had Ilya's leg wrapped up a little bit, nothing too deep, but he was attacking the legs. He was, going for a clinch early, and then something cut to Charles Oliveira early in the fight. I don't know what had happened, but they were clinching, and then I didn't see what happened that cut Charles, but Charles was bleeding out of his eyebrow. He was cut here. And then, yeah, they were just scrambling, going for it. Ilia Taporia was able to get out of the scrambles. Before those scrambles, they were exchanging. Charles Oliveira was throwing punches. He caught Taporia with a clean enough right hand. He was throwing kicks. He was throwing elbows, trying to attack him in the clinch, but Taporia just didn't really let Charles establish anything. So they got in those scrambling exchanges, like I said. And then Taporia just landed a fucking nasty right hand, put Charles essentially out, landed a follow-up left hook as Charles was falling to the ground, put him out completely, and then came and just landed 2 hammer fists that was just purely, as Joe Rogan says, purely academic. Not necessary, but it is what it is. It's a title fight. I'm not gonna give Taporia any shit about that. You gotta fight until it's over. It's not, and it's not like he had a big moment to wait for the referee while Charles was just laying there, like with the Jack Hermanson stoppage. But dude, Ilia Taporia, and then whoever he fights next, he's gonna chin them. Like he knocks out Justin Gaethje, he knocks out Paddy Pimblett. Paddy's big, he has a good chin, he has good wrestling. But I don't know, bro. I don't see how he beats Ilia Taporia. I feel like just Ilia Taporia is undeniable. I'm not gonna pick anybody to beat Ilia Taporia for a long time, unless this guy moves up to 170 to fight Islam Makhachev after he wins if Islam wins the belt against JDM. I might pick Islam against him, but holy fucking shit, dude. Ilia Taporia is just he's crazy. He's definitely different. He's a one of a kind athlete, like prime Connor. Dude looked insane in that fight. His power definitely translates up to 155. We've never seen Charles put out like that before, that I can think of, that I can recall. And let me just go ahead and check through his record, because Charles has been TKO'd, yes, down at 145, but he's never just been put out, just boom, clean, just out. Because Charles was out. Like you can see in the replay, his eyes were just not there. He was just completely gone. Maybe not like pitch black unconscious, but he was definitely out for sure. I don't really know the difference between being out and being like pitch black unconscious out. I guess you could say Jack Hermanson, because he took a while to get up. Oliveira got up relatively quickly. It took like a good 15 seconds or whatever, maybe 15, 30 seconds, got up, gave Taporia his credit for the win. He was like, oh, you got me, man. Like, fucking great job. And there was all respect between these guys before the fight. That was, Ilia himself said, like, I just can't hate Charles. Like, there's nothing I can hate about this guy. He's too nice. But shit, that didn't stop him from going out there and knocking him out, man. Ilia Taporia looked insane in that fight. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who he fights next. So yeah, quick little recap about the fights that are actually important. Joshua Van, Brandon Royval. That was a sick fight. Absolute war. Brandon Royval or Joshua Van's boxing was the equalizer in that fight. Brandon Royval throws a lot of junk, chaotic volume out there, but Joshua Van was able to, capitalize on all that chaos with just clean technicality, just clean counters, punishing Royval for just throwing stupid shit out there, basically. And then, yeah, Pantoja, pure domination. Going to be fighting Van next. Rooting for Van, picking Pantoja to win via grappling, because how can you not? Like, Jesus Christ. He's prime form. In 5 years, though, when Joshua Van is 28 and Pantoja's 40, Joshua Van's going to be champ. Hopefully Pantoja, even if Pantoja's not retired, like Joshua Van's going to beat his ass. 40-year-old Pantoja in 5 years, Joshua Van smokes him when Pantoja's all washed and Joshua Van is just entering his prime. So, yeah, man, what a sick night of fights. UFC 317, absolute banger of a card. What else can I say? I'm looking forward to UFC 318, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. I'm going to give my picks out for that. Oh, but man, that was crazy. Ilia Taporia, nasty knockout power. Poor Charles Oliveira, but I called it. I just, if you're getting rocked in every single fight, you're getting rocked by Michael Chandler, you're getting rocked by Justin Gaethje, you're getting rocked by Dustin Poirier. And it's not that those guys aren't good fighters. It's just like, if you're getting rocked by those guys, Ilia Taporia is going to knock you out, man. He's different, as I've said like 50 times at this point. But he's a special fighter. And I was a Taporia hater, bro. I was rooting for Volk. When he knocked out Volk, I was pissed. And when he knocked out Max Holloway, I was even more pissed, because I was like, Max is going to fucking beat him. He's going to fucking get the revenge for Volk. Volk was coming off the Islam head kick KO. Fluke. And I was just, he knocked them both out. And I was pissed, bro. And I was like, oh, I can't pick against Taporia again just for the sake of my own sanity. I'm just going to pick him to get the KO. That's something in my eye. But yeah, bros, that was an insane card. Super sick. looking forward to what's next with Taporia. We already know what's next with Pantoja. He's got the Van fight. Beneil Dariush, Moicano. Not too sure what these guys are going to do. I mean, Beneil's never going to fight for a title again, so we'll see what Beneil does next. Maybe he can fight. I don't even know. Let me look at the lightweight rankings. I mean, do we really want to match make for Beneil Dariush right now? Like, is that the most important thing in the world? Probably not, but I already started doing it. So let me go ahead and check the top 15 for lightweight. So he lost to Saruki and he lost to Oliveira. I don't know, Dan Hooker, Gamrot rematch. Aziv. I don't know. I mean, who really cares? He's not going to be champion, and if he fights for a title, like, I mean, Taporia kills him, so. I don't know, man. Poor Dariush. Peyton Talbot, Felipe Lima. What's next for Peyton Talbot? That's definitely a lot more interesting. I don't know who Peyton Talbot can fight next. He called out Adrian Yanez. I don't hate that fight. Maybe he can fight somebody in the top 15. Peyton Talbot versus Kyler Phillips. Sounds pretty good to me. I like the sound of that. That sounds like two kind of like California guys going at it. Kyler with the dumbest name you've ever heard. Just name him fucking Kyle or Tyler. Like, what is this Kyler shit? Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, no. Kyler Phillips versus Peyton Talbot. I like that fight next. And then Felipe Lima, I'm not too sure what he does next. Yeah, I don't know. Felipe Lima, he needs to build back. He needs to get another win. He probably came into this fight underestimating Talbot's grappling. He's probably thinking, like, I'm going to dominate this dude here. He just got dominated in the grappling 6 months ago. I should be able to have an advantage here. And then Peyton Talbot was like, no, bro, I started training my grappling, and, I'm really fucking good, actually. Like, apparently. Like, he's just like, oh, yeah, I guess I have to train my wrestling. And then he just started training his wrestling, and then he's just, like, naturally super fucking talented and gifted, and then he just got really good really fast. Or, I mean, maybe Raoni Barcelos is just really that much better than Felipe Lima at wrestling. It may be. I mean, Felipe Lima is only like, what, 27? Raoni Barcelos might just have that unk strength, that old man strength. And Gregory Rodriguez, man, yeah, that was a nasty KO. Poor Jack Hermanson. But what's next for Gregory? What's next for RoboCop? Is he ranked right now? No, RoboCop is not ranked, surprisingly. So, you can give RoboCop maybe like Abus Magomedov, Anthony Hernandez. I feel like that'd be a pretty sick fight. He just lost to number 7 and Jared Cannonier, and he got a win over unranked Jack Hermanson. So you can't put him over Jared Cannonier. So I would say anywhere from like the top 14 or the top 15 to like the top, 10, top 8. But yeah. Sick card. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys get the hell out of here. I'm going to get out of here myself. But yeah, Taporia KO, first round, disgusting. Made it look relatively easy. Pantoja, round 3 submission, made it look relatively easy. Kai didn't have much success. And then Van, hard-fought decision against Brandon Royval, the number 1 contender, only at 23 years old. The sky is the limit for this kid. He's the future of the flyweight division. Even if he loses to Pantoja coming up, he still has so much more time to just grow. Joshua Van has nothing but time. So we'll see. He's definitely going to be champion one day. If he loses to Pantoja now, it's all good, bro. He's going to come back and he's going to get that belt. He has years and years and years to go. So we'll see what happens with these fighters and what they're going to do next. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in, checking me out. No pause, no diddy, no homo, whatever the fuck these kids say nowadays. But like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys later. Fucking peace out. Bada bing, bada boom, all whatever the fuck. I'm just doing the outro.